What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Take a Time Out, episode number 34. 34 of them, man. Stick with us. Week 16, we're going to do our winners and losers for that. I'll start with my winners and losers. I got my winner as none other than the Dolphins. I want to say Tua, you can go down the list, but they all just played a really solid game, so I'm going with just the Dolphins in general. They finally beat what people would call a good team, so write that off, and they can probably feel just for them to cut off that narrative and for them to just not think about that anymore is a plus. So I think they won the week. So my biggest loser would be Doug Peterson. Man, it's getting grim in Jacksonville. Yeah, I mean, when you talk about the red zone struggles, I think the first person you got to look at is a combination of Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson, but the plays, from what I've seen, have just been awful in the red zone. Just some getting too cute. You think you're Andy Reid and you're really not, stuff like that. So that's my loser.
Yeah, I'll go. My biggest winner this week, Lamar Jackson. The performance that he put on against the 49ers defense even though like the Ravens defense got a lot of stops, like Lamar did his job. And after that game, he's now a heavy favorite, minus 200 last time I checked, to win the MVP. And even at like the midseason mark, I was pushing Lamar Jackson MVP because the strides that he's taken this year, like compared to the previous years, like his passing has increased just drastically for the better. And even like this was a point that's kind of been brought up recently, but even going into this into this season, like during the off season, we were talking about if he was going to get paid or not by the Ravens. And there is a bunch of reports that certain teams had no interest in Lamar Jackson, and I think he really took like that to heart. And like I don't know, he's been balling out. Like I would be shocked if he doesn't win MVP the way that he's been playing. And the Ravens are the top seed in their conference. I hate to say that, but hey, he's done his job. And then my biggest loser, it's got to be the Colts. We even talked about it last podcast. Like every time that we pick a Falcons game, just fade what we do because, like, the Colts on paper should have won this game. I feel like going into that game that they were straight up the better team, and they sold. Like Gardner Minshew, all that Minshew magic. It seems like it's gone, and their offense just looked terrible. So, yeah, I don't know. You can't lose to the Falcons like that, especially when if you win that game, like you're the top of your division, you almost secure yourself a playoff spot, and they fumbled all that away.
Yeah.
So my biggest winner, even though it wasn't pretty, they got the job done and secured a division title. So the Detroit Lions, first since I think 1993. So it's big for the city of Detroit, big for Dan Campbell. Like I said, it wasn't a pretty win, but they got the job done. And if they're hot, they're one of the best teams in football. If they're not, they don't even look like a playoff team. So we'll see how they look in the playoffs. Biggest loser, Kansas City Chiefs. Losing a home divisional game to the Raiders is embarrassing, in my opinion. They had an opportunity to take the 1 seed if they went out, and their schedule's not hard. It's just not the time to be fumbling the bag going into the playoffs. So.
Yeah, you got Travis Kelce getting yelled at in front of Taylor Swift.
Yeah. It's about time for that conversation with KC. I think we all know where I'm going with the winner. It'd be a shame if I didn't pick him. We're going to pick my very own Amari Cooper with the Browns game he had this last week. 2 touchdowns, 265 yards, broke the Browns' single-game record for receiving in a game. That was probably the most outstanding game I've seen from my eyes from a receiver on the Browns. It's just really special watching Joe Flacco. Literally, that was on the couch 3 weeks ago, come out and throw like straight dots to Amari and actually kind of show the ceiling that Amari can actually be because he's always been a good receiver. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely my winner for the week. For my loser of the week, I'm definitely going to have to pick Sam Howell for the Washington Commanders. Up to week 12 this year, He was QB number 4 in fantasy, actually looking like the franchise player. But these last 4 weeks, he hasn't even thrown a touchdown, and he has like 5 or 6 interceptions the last 4 weeks with no touchdowns. So ended up getting benched. Jacoby Brissett came in and played well. Looks like Sam Howell's time's coming to an end for the Commandees, so I'm going to have to give him an L for this week.
That's a good one. All right, man. We got a new segment for y'all. You know, it's not as popular anymore, but spinning the wheel was a big deal a couple years back. And so, yeah, we're going to try to bring it back, man. We're going to do a spin the wheel, little debate segment. How it's going to go down is on the screen. I'll have it pulled up. We're going to spin a wheel of all quarterbacks. This is basically all the starters right now and a couple of people that got hurt. And this can be their all-time career. So we're just debating which player's been better in their all-time career, stuff like that. It's going to go down right here, right now. I guess we'll start with our ends. Let's start with the ends.
All right.
Let's go with Kyler and James. I'll spin for Kyler first.
Just don't give me Tua.
No Tua.
Oh, there's no
no
way.
way.
No
There's-
Honestly, you kinda-
Kyler gets Tua.
You might win this argument already.
All right. James is spinning. He's
I don't know, he
spinning.
might get someone like Bryce Young.
Stafford.
Mm.
Matt Stafford versus Tua. All right, who wants to go first?
Don't matter to me.
You go ahead.
All right, so Matt Stafford is better than Tua. We'll just start off with the simple statistics. He's had 2 great wide receivers with him, Megatron and Cooper Kupp, and they're one of the greats of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Tua hasn't done that at this point in his career. Tua last year was soft and fragile. That's why he thought he would come big and tough, tatted up and all this stuff, and he's just still not that dude. Stafford, on the other hand, has a Super Bowl win. He's coming back into like a sort of prime this year. He's looking good. Top fantasy quarterback past couple weeks. Again, a team that you do not want to see in the playoffs because they're looking good.
Well, look at some good arguments.
Your rebuttal.
Honestly, as much as I don't like Tua, even though I called that, we're going to have some arguments. First argument, you brought up having Calvin Johnson and the other good Cooper Kupp for Matthew Stafford. Well, Tua's had Tyreek this year, and he's been the leading receiver and was on pace before his injury to break the record of both of those players. So Tua has been getting the players the ball. Coming back from last year when he did have seizures in the field, I'm not going to throw up the signs because of some gang signs. But he came back. He got a little Hawaiian tattoo on him. That boy's strong, and he has been playing well this year. For the Matthew, I'm not going to debate him saying he's a bad quarterback because he's definitely a good quarterback. He does have a Super Bowl. Can't argue that. But this Dolphins team is also a team you don't want to play in the playoffs because Tua's going to light you up. That boy looks more mature. He's looking like the franchise player they've been looking for. Yeah, we're going to move it forward with him.
Nate, you be the judge.
I definitely lost that, but it's fine. I did
think
the
I'm gonna
argument
have to
for
go
him.
Matthew Stafford.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was close.
Shout out
though.
Matthew.
That was a really good debate for somebody that you don't even
I
really
don't
mess with
He was
that
talking
much.
about throwing
Before podcast, if we're talking about
Yeah, that's might have started vlogging before the pods because that was wild. We did a dry run. Y'all should have been there. All right, me and Nate. I'll spin first. So James won. Maybe we'll do a little tournament style. We won't go on too long, but
Good luck with that.
no.
Oh, we got T-Law.
All right, we land on T-Law, man. Here's your spin.
Give me Burrow for the one time.
That'd be nuts.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
T-Law
there
versus
we
Joe
go.
Flacco, man. He's put some on. All right, I'll go first
All right.
because you got the worst player, obviously. Well, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the judge thinks. All right. So Trevor Lawrence, when we're talking about one of the most majestic dudes in the league on and off the field, we're talking about a dude that was the first overall pick, shattered Ohio State's dreams, man. Like we're talking about a dude who went out there and balled in college and had a first rough year, but ever since then, we've been talking about him as a top 10 quarterback. This year, I think it's coaching. Coaching, man. Like, him and Doug had a thing going, but sometimes you see where you get a little too comfortable, you get a little too cute with your offense, you think you know it all, and you start running trick plays when you're at the 20-yard line, stuff like that. Now he's injured, so I wouldn't take anything that we see from him moving forward that serious. But what we've seen from a healthy, sturdy Trevor Lawrence, I think we're looking at a top probably 5 or 6 quarterback in the league when he's healthy.
All right. That was good. That's actually really good. Joe Flacco. Why is he better than Trevor Lawrence? Well, let's just look at the overall body of work. First, he has more experience than Trevor Lawrence. He has almost probably tripled the experience. On top of that, this is a quarterback that has already won a Super Bowl. Now, I understand after he won that Super Bowl, he did get paid a lot of money. I think he was the highest paid quarterback at that time, and he started to decline after that. He's had a lot of bad teams that he's been on ever since that contract year with the Ravens. He went to the Jets, who were terrible. He went to the Broncos, who were also terrible. So terrible that they didn't think he was good anymore, and he was out of the league for a little bit. Then, all of a sudden, you have Deshaun Watson, who gets hurt, all right? And then the backup quarterbacks for the Browns don't look very good. They know that they can't compete with them, anybody else in the league, when they have them starting. So what do? They call Joe Flacco, right? Now, Joe Flacco, he's not as majestic as Trevor Lawrence, correct?
Yeah,
we can all agree. But,
Not as majestic.
Joe Flacco, you look at him, that's somebody's dad right there,
Mhm.
all right? This is someone's dad that just came off of the couch, and now he's leading the Browns to arguably one of the best seasons they've had in a very long time. It's hard to deny how good Joe Flacco is right now.
All right, James won, so he'll be the judge.
Whoa, what does this mean?
Are you?
You can judge if you want.
Oh, I mean, I think a judge should be a two thing.
All right, let's do it.
What do you think, one James?
I mean, I think you guys both did a good little sesh right there, but I think I got to give it to Nate for the
How's the
past
sound?
and the present.
I was trying to stay not biased by this just because we know Joe Flacco. But your argument was very good, Dom. But I think the way Nate ended that,
Man, I was pouring my heart
he
into
did
that.
pour his heart out, and it kind of hit me more. Not even because it was Joe and the Browns, but like the way he said it.
It was a lead up, bro. It was a good story.
It was a
That
lead
is
up.
somebody's dad that came off the couch.
Like I seriously I was like really like dang, like this is serious when he was getting into it.
Like,
so,
you look
yeah.
at Joe Flacco, like, that could be your neighbor.
All right, you won, bro.
You
Don't,
wouldn't
don't,
But now,
Just
Don't
saying,
don't rub
but-
it in.
but
I'm
now
getting
me and
tired
Dom-
over there.
me and Dom get to be the judges between you and James.
Okay.
yeah,
for
this,
next
this is
round.
the championship, and then we'll do me and Kyler for the loser.
All right,
bracket.
yeah, we'll do a little consolation.
Yeah, constellation bracket, I like that.
All right.
Second time this
Yeah,
year.
you'll go first since
Okay.
because I didn't go first.
Actually,
last time.
should the consolation go first before the championship? I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
we'll
do
do
it.
it.
Yeah, me and
Alright.
Dom first, and then we'll go
All
over
right.
that.
This is my spin right here. Spin it. Give me Kirky.
Ooh, that's a good name.
Damn, I'm
Stroud,
getting, I'm
baby.
getting.
That's a
I
good
don't
name.
know. There's a lot of quarterbacks on here, man. You might
You
get
better
one.
pick like one of the best ones.
For the one time.
I don't got. No, I'm not even gonna say
Derek Carr.
it. You got a seasoned vet. I got a rookie.
All right.
I'll go first, and then you can play off of that if that helps. All right. So C.J. Stroud, the number 2 pick, right? I mean, that should just speak for itself that people have been doubting this dude his whole life. We had a team almost give up basically half of their franchise, don't own their pick this year because they didn't believe C.J. Stroud was him. Fools, man. They're fools because if you look at what C.J. Stroud has done from college to the NFL, it's all been there, man, like in front of our faces, and we just didn't want to admit it. We talk about he's not a scrambler. Dude uses his feet all the time, just doesn't run for the extra yards. He just gets out of the pocket and throws for 50 yards. That's the difference. He's one of the most accurate dudes in the league already. Just to play off a little bit of what I've seen is like Carr had a good rookie run, but this looks like it could be like a franchise player. Like, talk about this dude to your kids, like that type of player. When I talk about C.J. Stroud, one of the most accurate dudes in the league, clutch genes, all of it. C.J. Stroud.
So while you were talking, I didn't really listen to much of it because I was trying to think of arguments to even compete against C.J. Stroud with Derek Carr. I just came to the conclusion there really isn't. He's just mid. He's horrible. Move on. You win.
You sure,
I'm
bro?
sorry.
I'll give one case for Carr just for the clicks.
You do
real
it
quick.
for me because I couldn't think of one.
All right. When I talk about Derek Carr, you gotta go back a couple years. You gotta
Way
go back
back.
a lot of years.
Like 2015.
But we're talking about a dude that was in an MVP candidacy. He almost won the award.
That is true.
Him and Amari Cooper, your winner, was one of the most dynamic duos in the NFL at one point in time. Like we're talking, that was when we were like what?
We were in middle school.
Middle school, and I was like first starting to like really dive deep into football and like really watch it. And he was just jumping off the paper. I mean, I remember a buddy of mine that was his gamer tag on the Xbox. It's Derek Carr. That's my case. But hey, I won anyway. He gave up.
Don probably could have took you if you asked John. He had Derek Carr.
I like Derek Carr.
I will be 100% honest. I didn't know.
You forgot about his.
I don't know anything about Derek Carr.
Days.
That's someone I've never paid attention to. 100%
All right.
honest.
We'll spin Nate's first. All right.
Ooh,
We did a dry run. We did a dry run, and he got
We
O'Connell.
might be revisiting this one time for the one time.
James got Baker last time. We'll see what he
Give him
gets.
Desmond Ritter.
Oh.
Yes.
Little sophomore rookie matchup, man.
O'Connell versus Desmond Ritter. All right. Let me get my thoughts.
This is
together
a good
real
little
quick.
combo right here to see which one, because this one can really go either way.
For the chip.
Okay, let's start. So, I used this argument when we were upstairs, so I'll just get it out of the way so we can move on to more topics. This was a quarterback that was put into a position that he was not supposed to be in. Jimmy Garoppolo goes down pretty early. He gets thrown into a Josh McDaniels offense that looked terrible, so terrible that he resulted in getting fired for it. Moving forward, Aiden O'Connell in the past couple weeks even has not looked that great, right? We can all argue that. Is he necessarily a franchise quarterback? Heck no. But at the end of the day, he is a rookie, right? His best player is Devontae Adams, who is still one of the best receivers in the league. But outside of that, I mean, they don't have an offensive line. They have zero run game. Like Josh Jacobs will be projected to be one of the top rushers this year, especially coming after last year, and their offensive line has done nobody on that offense favors. And then you look at someone like Desmond Ritter's situation where you can argue that almost every piece on offense is in place, even on defense. Like, they have a really good defense. But Desmond Ritter, like, I don't want to put all the blame on him, right? But at the same time, like, you have to make with what you got, you have to make that work. And the only thing that he's made work is going to the bench and making Taylor Heineke look better than him somehow. So, I don't know. This team is on the verge of being a playoff team. And honestly, if you put someone like Aiden O'Connell in that offense, I think that they'd be wrapping up their division right now. But
Damn, he ended with a good closing remark there.
All right, so Aiden O'Connell.
Okay.
We're just going to start off with the boy
AOC.
real quick. Is the definition of a terrible mid-white quarterback. All right, so with Desmond Ritter, right, this man grew up a winner his whole life. He led Cincinnati to the college football playoffs.
he did.
And we thought when he came to the league, it was going to take a couple years for him to adjust, and the Falcons just kind of threw him in there. And this man is still adjusting to the assets he has around him. Arthur Smith being the coach, that doesn't help. But we've seen glimpses. He's a runner, so that's something he does have on Aiden O'Connell. He can step up, get out of the pocket, make the runs, make the throws. And I think in an offense, with a better head coach, a better offensive coordinator, he could use the weapons that he has of his disposal. So with Desmond Ritter, I disagree with your argument that I don't think any quarterback can be in that system without a head coach to lead them to the NFC South champion.
Yeah.
Damn.
That was good.
Those are honestly. We can talk about that.
Closing statement real quick since we did talk about rebuttals. Aiden O'Connell's still a starter.
That's it.
I
But
can't just make
but
up shit.
hold on. But who else is on the roster with O'Connell competing against him?
I don't know.
Yeah, everyone's hurt.
He has no competition.
Thank God.
All right.
So, listening at both of those conversations,
Yeah.
both were very good. I'm not gonna lie, Nate had me like, I don't think James can even really compete.
And then he did
and
it.
then James competed. So I'm sitting here like,
Yeah, I'm in shambles right now. These might be
I
the
almost
best
want to
places.
call it tie. Like, I know there needs to be a winner, but it was really that good for both of them.
All right, you want to say tie?
You know what? I'll tie it. You be the leading the factor. You decide.
All right.
This man gave a tie.
It
We
was
ain't
good.
playing for no ties.
It was good.
Yeah, we ain't playing for ties.
It's like
man.
boxing. Like someone had 50-50. I'm on one score. The other score could have 50, 49-51.
You know what happened if that happened?
What's that?
The whole crowd would be booing.
Hey, it's like a dunk contest.
I know it's not fair, but James got to go second, and therefore he kind of rallied off of some of Nate's points. Nate had a good last point that he still started, but the simple fact is I think James won.
GG's.
But I'm going to leave it up to our 8 viewers in the comment section. No, we can get this up.
You know what? The first person to comment on this video, if you see this
actually,
moment,
yeah, that's good.
we're gonna call it a little tie because honestly, it could have went either way.
Alright,
Because
no-
looking back on it, I kind of was leaning a little bit Nate, but I also didn't want to get out of James' favor. So
We'll tally up a vote. We'll
no
show this.
burners.
Yeah.
friends.
No burners.
we're gonna have a little
I-
Instagram
the,
post.
The way I look at it is, I think Nate had a great argument, but I felt like I did what I could with what I
You
had.
did.
Yeah,
You did. I agree.
Being a
And
bench,
I feel
someone
like-
that got benched.
I feel
it's
like
a little
going. I feel like
hard.
going second definitely helps your case.
It
Yeah.
does.
Because like,
so I
when-
took that in
when we
consideration.
went, like I just had to get the boys rallied at the end, and they're like, Nate, yeah.
But then again,
Joe Flacco.
just a little thing. You also did pregame this, and James had to come off the fly, but that's
Yeah,
That is true.
So there was a little argument for.
But
Would
I-
you really go second?
We'll leave it up. We'll do like a little Instagram poll or something, and
Yeah.
then we'll put a clip and see who won.
Oh, that was fun, boys.
That was fun.
That's definitely going to be a recurring segment for sure.
We're trying to be like, all the big shows, right? We need to have that little bit of controversy in there.
For
Yeah,
sure.
we got to debate. We got to get in each other's faces. Tell them who's daddy.
Spit on.
Like one
Spit
day,
on the
one of us
competition,
might
the
take
ops.
one of these steel chairs.
Yeah, it
Put
might just
someone
go
through
right
this
through this
table.
poker table. All right, man. The last thing we had was our PickEm. We do it every week. There's some good football going on, some others. We'll get right into it right here. Starting with we've seen this one almost every year. Jets are at the Browns. Hey, we got Joe Flacco. You guys don't. Little revenge game.
You already know. I'm just gonna say it right now. I know the line's -7 for good reason. The Jets at the beginning of this year had the opportunity to put Joe Flacco on that team when A-Rod got hurt on the literally first drive of the season, and they decided not to and rock with Zach Wilson. So if it's not for only for Joe Flacco for a comeback game to prove him again, and after coming off for what he did last week, this is Browns hammer the money line because that secondary is not going to be letting Trevor Simon throw the ball.
I'm not
And
gonna
I'm
lie.
sorry, I know I love Garrett Wilson. He's going to get the targets. That secondary is going to eat Trevor Simon
Who's
alive.
their quarterback?
Trevor
I
Simeon.
All right.
I forgot that
That's
this
not
was.
January 1st yet.
I forgot
Yeah.
that this was a revenge game for Joe Flacco. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Give me the Browns -7. It's still Trevor Simeon starting for the Jets.
Yep.
Yeah. I from a snap to snap basis has probably been the worst quarterback to start this year.
Besides Tim Boyle. But yeah.
Yeah. I did forget about
Browns.
Tim Boyle.
Oh yeah, give me the Browns.
All right, Dolphins. Oh, I'm sorry. Got a little ahead of myself. Lions are at the Cowboys. Good one. Good one. I'm going to go with the Cowboys because they're at home. Cowboys at home. Danger zone. Lions. I mean, if you were the one thing, if I landed on Kirk Cousins, my main rebuttal was if we had Kirk Cousins right now, like 4 picks from Nick Mullins, man, and we still almost won the game. Like, just crazy. So give me the Cowboys.
Yeah, give me the Cowboys as well. Because they're at home, but I feel like this Lions team, even though that they did just secure their spot in the playoffs, they're kind of like that 2021 Bengals team where they're already kind of overachieving, and if they can get one playoff win alone, like, you should be happy with the season. Anything past that, awesome. I just don't think they're necessarily on the level of the Cowboys right now. But with that being said, I think if the Lions win this game, like, as much crap as I've given them, like, I'll be ready to hop on the Lions bandwagon.
Actually, that last statement you said, I agree. If the Lions do win this game, I don't think really as much is going to be stopping. It's a statement game for sure. But right now, I'm definitely going to pick the Cowboys. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Lions struggle a little bit with pressure when they have a defensive line, like a good defensive line?
Like Jared Goff, just
Yeah.
He's
So-
like one of the, I want to say one of the worst quarterbacks.
So I'm going to say, just based off of the defensive line alone and the defense, the Lions don't have a great defense. They have some pieces back, but they're definitely missing some holes there. The Cowboys are just more of a full together team, but I'm not discrediting the Lions at all because they've been playing fantastic. It's going to be a great game, but I just think the Cowboys win this. It could come down to the wire, though, for sure.
I'm going to go with the Cowboys. The only way I see the Lions winning this game is if they play to the style that the Bills did and kind of run it down their throats. So if they get that run game going with Montgomery and Gibbs, that's the only way they can win this game. But I think we kind of saw it last week. Dallas minimized the run game from Miami, and their defense did look better. I know they lost that game, but they still held the Dolphins to six field goals.
Yeah,
it was
21 points in total.
Yeah, they only scored one touchdown, I think.
Yep.
So with that, give me the Cowboys.
Yep. Yeah. It's gonna be a good one. All right, Dolphins are at the Ravens. Dolphins get another chance to say we can beat good teams, beat the cream of the crop. Everybody's talking about the Ravens right now. Give me the Ravens. Defensively, I kind of gave a diss last week saying they don't have a real pass rusher, and as a unit, it works, man. They got Clowney. Clowney's looking good again. Like the amount of dudes that they have with the blitzes, Roquan, all that. For Tua to be the best quarterback that avoids hits, I think he's going to take a couple this game. And speaking on the fact that the Dolphins linebackers are really injured, and this is a chance for the Ravens to run it down their throats as well. So, Ravens.
Yeah, give me the Ravens. Their defense played lights out against the Niners. So much so that Brock Purdy's not even in that conversation for MVP right now. How bad that performance was. This Ravens team's legit. Lamar Jackson, like I said earlier, playing like an MVP. It's hard to fade this team. Even the Dolphins have so much firepower, and they could easily win this game. But I think that this is probably gonna be a shootout if I had to guess.
For sure.
But give me the Ravens, 100%.
Going to go Dolphins here. I think the Ravens are kind of riding a high right now, and the Dolphins need to win this game to clinch the division. And if they lose, it's against the Bills next week for the division.
Dang.
So this game, I think, means a little more to them personally. So it's going to be a shootout. The Ravens are a better team in my opinion, but I like the stakes for the Dolphins.
Those are both good arguments. My gut's just telling me the Ravens, so I'm just going to go with them.
All right, Patriots are at the Bills. A little feisty Patriots team, man. Bills not trying to go out like that. All the rumors. I think this is gonna be a good game. I think the Bills eke it out because they gotta win it more, and I think they'll be able to run the ball. Yeah, give me the Bills.
Give me the Bills as well. Even though on paper, the Bills, there's a reason why this line is minus 12. But I just feel like the Patriots and Bill Belichick himself, there's nothing more that I feel like you would enjoy than to play spoiler and ruin their draft pick, because the rumors are that he's not going to be there next year.
Right.
So there's that. But the Bills, they're the better team, so it's hard to even think about saying the Patriots.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me the Bills here.
Bills as well.
Falcons are at the Bears. Man, it's been a long time coming that I'm going to say bear down right now. At the beginning of the year, I was very skeptical about this team. And now look at them, man. They're running away with wins and looking a lot better somehow in the playoff race if they were to win out and some things happen. Give me the Bears here against the Falcons team. It's all over the place.
I think you're looking at potentially the starting quarterback for the Falcons this year that's playing them. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm going to take the Bears here. Falcons still have quarterback issues. And honestly, I have not been impressed with their offense the last few weeks. The Bears at least been scoring, but I'm just going to take them because I like them more favorite here.
This is a precaution for every single Falcons game we do every single week.
Yeah, I'll give them advisory.
Yeah. I'm taking the Bears, so for betting advice,
Bet the Falcons.
bet the Falcons.
Yeah.
But just, I don't know. This Falcons team, they're just so bad. They really are. This Bears team, they've definitely shown a lot more life in this back half of the season. They're at home. This is gonna be. Literally, if this game was like 3-9, I wouldn't be surprised. So give me the Bears.
One thing I like about the Bears, just really quick, is they have good linebackers. Montez Sweat has been making a difference. I could see, honestly, another bad game for the Falcons, honestly, just based off those two factors alone, because they don't really throw the ball downfield. So that's also another reason the Bears could win here.
Wait, Nate, did you say the Falcons were bad?
Yeah, the Falcons are bad.
So not just their quarterback?
It's their offense coordinator too. Whoever's calling the plays, all right, should not have a job next
I
season.
agree.
Listen, we're not debating that now. That was
Okay.
the previous segment. I'm just saying.
But yeah, give me the Bears. That's all I got. But if you had Ritter in there, I mean, you had to take the Falcons in
That's
this
what I'm saying.
situation.
100%.
You
For
have-
sure.
you
After
have to.
James' debate, hands down.
I think I'm right there with you.
Cincinnati homegrown, and you're gonna hate on the man?
He
Right.
hasn't looked.
Come
good.
on,
He
I even
hasn't
forgot
looked
about that
good.
part.
He
You're
has-
right.
he has
Yeah, you
not
should have
looked
just
good.
been like, oh, I give up like Kyler.
He's a home warrior.
All right, Titans are at the Texans. I'm going to go with the Texans here. I think Stroud comes back, and, yeah, Texans need this one bad. Bad.
Reports are
Stroud's
saying
coming back.
Stroud should be playing this game. So with that being said, it's going to be two rookie quarterbacks. We already know which one's the better one. So we're going to ride the Texans. Not much to say.
I'm just gonna. I mean, I've laid this out in previous weeks. General rule of thumb this season, like even if he had an extra week, not really great to bet on a quarterback that just came out of concussion protocol. This Titans team, like even though they have not been as good as they probably could have been, I think that they are feisty, and I really could see them playing spoiler right here.
I mean, we've named all home teams winning. This is
I think give me the Titans. This is gonna be a close game, I think.
I really like your argument, Nate. But I'm not going to bet against C.J. Stroud.
Understandably, it's hard.
If there's a quarterback to bet on after concussion, I think
It
it's
probably would be
C.J.
CJ.
Stroud.
Yeah, we've seen them hop out the tent before. That was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Raiders are at the Colts. You know where I'm going, baby. Raiders are back. You know, they're in the playoff hunt. So are the Vikings. I mean, what a better day than to be just to be down, really. Give me the Raiders.
The Colts sold last week, but it's hard to fade them at home. Even though I just made a very passionate speech about how AOC is a great quarterback, in reality, he's not that good. Even though I also said that Minshew Mania is dead, I think that it might be revived for this one last game. Like I said, it's hard to fade the Colts
You're going
at
against
home.
everything he's saying.
Give me the Colts. I am being pretty hypocritical right now.
Give me the Raiders. I do not think this Colts team is a playoff team. I don't see them in the playoffs. I think either the Bengals or the Texans or possibly even the Steelers slide up into that spot. Because, I mean, I think the Bills and the Browns are both locks for the wild card. The Colts are just not a built playoff team, and the Raiders are scary right now.
I agree.
They actually are.
Black Air Force scary.
I will say AOC has been playing better than he has when he first started playing. He's been getting at least Devontae the ball some more.
First
One,
quarter.
one reception
Not
last week.
Okay, outside of that, I don't know. I kind of agree with James' statement a lot.
Dropped
I
like
really
2
don't
points for me.
I don't think this Colts team really is a built playoff team. I still think they're missing a lot of pieces. And the Raiders have, even though they've not had the season they wanted by any means, they definitely are a more feisty team. And I can definitely see what's his name, Max Crosby, smoking a cigar with the reporters after this game and a good dub. So we're gonna take the Raiders here.
You might have to bleep this out, but it's a lot easier to be a better team when you don't have a jackass as a head coach. Right?
What do you mean?
True.
Like Josh McDaniels.
And that, the Raiders
Oh,
coach now, he's definitely built a different type of energy for this Raiders team. I mean, last game he was crying after their win, so that's something you
so
like to
much
see
so
from your head
that
coach. He wants it.
They had this opportunity a few years ago when they lost to the Bengals in the wild card to keep that head coach. I hope that they learn from their lesson. if you have a locker room that believes in the guy,
They're playing for him.
give him a shot.
They are playing
Give
for
him
him.
a shot.
You can tell.
I just wanted clarification because I think both of these coaches are really good, Shane Steichen and Pierce. So
Yeah.
I just didn't know what you meant. by
Yeah,
that.
I was talking about Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, he's a jackass.
Double down. All right, Panthers are at the Jags. This is all-time. I'm not watching this one. Game. Jags are -7, and we don't even know if Lawrence is going to play. It's crazy. Real quick on the Panthers, nobody's watching them, but Bryce Young had a really good second half. Started off horrible, had a good second half. I think he plays off of that and loses by 10 instead of 17. So give me the Jags.
They're -17.
No, they're -7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bryce Young did actually play really good last week. If you've heard me talk about it previously on other podcasts, Bryce Young has by far probably been one of the worst fantasy quarterbacks all year. And then he popped off last week, and obviously he was on the bench. But, I don't know. It's hard. This Panthers team, like, their offense is still just – there's so much wrong with it. Even with the Jags backup, it's hard for me to see the Panthers beating the Jaguars. So, give me the Jags. Reluctantly, though.
I think this is also one of the uglier games this week. But with that being said, the Jags are still in the race for the playoffs. Panthers really only can really play for pride at this point. So I'm just going to take the Jags. Even I don't know who the backup quarterback is, but I think I could honestly see the Panthers winning this game. I'm not going to say that because I could see them winning, especially if Bryce Young does play good this week. But I'm just going to take the Jags just because of the spot they're in right now for this playoff race.
If Lawrence plays, give me the Jags. If he doesn't, give me the Panthers.
Yeah, simple as that. All right, Rams are at the Giants. Rams. We talked about how hot they are, man. And, yep, Rams.
Did Tommy get sat last week, I think?
Yeah, Tyrod is named the starter for this week.
Yep.
That actually kind of changes some things. I don't know.
Give me the Rams. I forget who we were talking about specifically. I said this, I think it was either on here or maybe it was in a group chat or something, but when you have a team that is consistently going from quarterback to quarterback throughout the season, like, it's hard for the guys around them to believe.
Yeah.
Like, they done already seen what Tyrod's done this year, and it's netted. You would know how many wins. I don't know, but I don't know. I feel like that just kind of kills the team's confidence when you do stuff like that. So give me the Rams.
Let me go right before you, James, because you can definitely make some points after me.
0. He's netted 0 wins.
Okay.
Yeah, but do you also think with Tyrod playing this year, it might be one of the better times you've seen the Giants play, though? Or no?
That's a good question.
It is. And you know Darren Waller is back. You told me that like the other day.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to judge because Tyrod did have some tough opponents. He played the Bills, played them really well. But then you got DeVito. He was playing really well, but he's playing against crappy people. So
this is
it's
what
kind
I'm
of hard
gonna
to
say.
judge.
I'm going to go off my limb, and I'm going to take the Giants this week. I really am. Not only just because of that, I think the Giants might look better with Tyrod playing. I think they did earlier in the season. I also like veteran quarterbacks against younger teams, and the Rams have a young secondary. I know the Giants are definitely underdogs in this game, but I could see this be the spoiler of the week. So I'm going to take the Giants here.
They're at home. I mean, anything's possible.
First thing I want to say is it was good to see the Giants be competitive last week against the Eagles. I expected us to get blown out by 20, but it's kind of cool to see that we can compete with some of these big name people when we have so many injuries on our team and not even having a quarterback. With that being said, give me the Rams for fantasy purposes. Have Stafford and Cup, so kind of need them to. They lose, yeah.
So you're rooting against your team kind of this week of a way?
I mean, at this point, I'd always love to see the Giants win, but
they can lose as long as your
we're
players
talking about
go
some
off.
real bread
You want a
here.
shootout though.
We're talking about some real.
looks better.
I don't
We're
know
talking
if
about some
in
real.
the camera. If you see the trophy up there, that's the trophy James playing for this week.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know if this makes me not a true fan, but we have nothing really to play for.
I agree.
So
It doesn't. You're right where you should
Hey,
be.
you should be a number one fan of bread in your pocket.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
All right. Cardinals are at the Eagles. Eagles win this one. Could be close, but the line's minus 10.5. Vegas don't think so.
I think that's
Eagles.
crazy. I know this Cardinals team isn't good, but this is the type of game that, like, I can see them keeping it close. Like, this Eagles team has looked pretty suspect over the last couple of weeks. Probably over this last month or so. I don't know. I just feel like if there is a game that Kyler Murray's going to pull off some Murray magic, it's this game right here.
I think Kyler Murray might be questionable. Yeah, he's
It's
questionable.
questionable. Yeah.
Taking the Eagles.
So who you picking?
Oh, I'm taking the Eagles.
Okay.
But I think I guess if he is questionable, then this line kind of makes sense. But, yeah, give me the Eagles.
Yeah, give me the Eagles too.
Saints are at the Bucks. Give me the Bucks. I think this one's pretty easy.
Go Bucks.
-3.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bucks.
Is this Derek Carr starting?
I don't know.
You don't want to go Saints?
Dude, I didn't even have an argument to even. I net positive for Derek Carr.
Yeah, it's true.
I could at least make a positive argument for Baker.
Give me the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're kind of tired of everyone counting them out and stuff like that, and makes the last week of the division kind of interesting. So,
Real
I
quick,
can see
too. If there's a corner that locks up Mike Evans better than anybody, it's Marshall Lattimore.
Lattimore for sure.
Must
Yeah.
match
Get
up
in
to
his
watch.
head.
Match up to watch.
yeah, sure. I really hope Lattimore just takes it to him.
Let's hope that.
49ers are at the Commanders. Jacoby Brissett. He's got a lot of stuff to prove to Nate. Sitting right here. Came in. We've seen what happened. 49ers, though.
Yeah, there's not much to say about the Commanders. I mean, they just benched the starting quarterback last week. Don't get me wrong. I like Jacoby Brissett because of what he did on the Browns, and he did come in and play good last week. But you're talking about the 49ers.
What's the line?
Against
-13.5.
arguably the worst.
It's the worst defense.
No, it is
in
the
league.
worst defense in the league, and their secondary is rated last. So if there's a week for Brock Purdy to come back and at least get his confidence back before the playoffs, it's this game. So I'm going to take 49ers.
You know what? I really like what you just said. I could see Brock Purdy throwing for like 3 touchdowns,
He needs a little game. Come back.
0
from that.
interceptions, like a real efficient game. So give me the Niners, and probably even though I say that spreads like that are like dumb, I think this Niners team's pretty upset and mad, and against the worst defense, it's hard to not see them cover by 2 touchdowns.
Give me the 49ers. I got a bold prediction for this week. I don't know if you want me to save it till the end,
I'll
but
say it right now.
Go ahead.
it's kind of a two-parter. I think the Ravens do lose this week, and Lamar looks bad. And I
Brock Purdy
think
comes back in the race.
no, I think Christian McCaffrey goes off
Oh.
and has a career day. I'm talking 4 touchdowns, 200 all-purpose yards, and I think because everyone's so sick of this being a quarterback award, I just really hope Tyreek or Christian McCaffrey win this award.
deserve it
and,
this
and
year.
if Lamar plays bad, Tyreek and McCaffrey both do good, we can see them jump to
So
the
you're
top.
saying like McCaffrey
It
3
seems-
touchdowns this week, and then Lamar kind of shuts the bag.
It
And
literally
that line drops to like 100
It literally
even.
seems like
Exactly.
all the MVPs this year, especially like the last month or so, if they have one bad game,
There's been
they're
a lot.
no longer the
There's a lot of
favorite.
movement. Dak Prescott was like the heavy 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and
But
then
think
it's
about
Brock
this.
Purdy.
Think about last week. So I don't mean to get off track from our picks, but
Okay.
if Brock Purdy doesn't throw those interceptions,
He still lead.
with how McCaffrey was playing that game, because they abandoned the run
Mhm.
after those 2 back-to-back interceptions.
Mhm.
It would have been, in my opinion, a Lamar versus McCaffrey or a Lamar versus Purdy.
type of game.
Yeah, but, for me, it's more McCaffrey than anything, man.
I think
I know
everyone-
I'm biased, but
Everyone besides the award believes it should.
that
be
man does it all
McCaffrey.
for that team.
He does.
All right. Steelers are at the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks eat this one out. I think they've got their swagger back in terms of passing the ball. I don't know what the rest of it looks like, but passing the ball, I think they got their swagger back. So give me the Seahawks against a weak secondary.
Yeah, give me the Seahawks as well, simply because I would love for them nothing more than to see the Steelers lose and somehow drop out of the playoffs. So let's go Seahawks. But real quick, don't want to get off, track too much. But Kenneth Walker, the biggest sellout of the season so far for me this year. So there's that.
Give me. Is it in Seattle?
Yep.
Oh man,
Hey, this is Mason Rudolph who just lit up the Bengals.
Bro, give me the Seahawks. I don't know why I was thinking about it too much.
Steelers for a second.
I was
Yeah.
close. But
No, I just had to. I've never seen Mason Rudolph play 2 good games in a row.
It'll probably never happen.
So, and he's playing a harder set. No offense to the Bengals defense. They've been looking better this year, but this is a harder secondary. So, I'm going to take the Seahawks.
Nah, man, if you give up that type of game to Mason Rudolph, you deserve all the
Yeah.
criticism in the world.
Chargers are at the Broncos. Backup QB battle. I'm gonna go with the Broncos.
This might be the most.
Highest paid backup in the league.
This might be like the most pointless game of the week, to be honest.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know.
I ain't watching this one.
Wait,
I
who's,
really
who's the
don't.
Broncos backup?
Jarrett Stidham, right?
yeah.
Didn't he play for the Raiders last year?
Gosh. Give me the Chargers.
Easton Stick.
I don't
Easton
know.
Stick looked. I mean, I feel like Easton Sticks.
Yeah,
He has to look better than Jarrett Stidham.
he had a decent performance last week.
I don't know. This is Sean Payton. Sean Payton just literally just told Russell Wilson, like, I know you traded me to make you better, but you're not on my team anymore. So I'm taking the
But
Broncos.
we don't have the Brandon Staley factor anymore. It's okay to bet on the Chargers.
Yeah.
You'll be okay.
I mean, yeah.
No,
You
Keenan
already said
Allen.
Broncos, so it's
But I'm
too
gonna
late.
still ride with the Broncos. Let's ride. Well, it's not ride because Russell's not there no more. But like,
Is
let's
it
go.
in San Diego or L.A. where they play?
Denver.
Denver. Yeah, give me the Broncos.
I don't like the line though. Minus 5.5.
We got a boomer over
That
here
could.
talking about the San
Oh, they have
Diego
Denver
Chargers.
minus 5.5.
This was probably was this after?
This was after.
That's crazy.
We can check it out, but all right. Bengals are at the Chiefs.
Let me go real quick. I've not faded the Bengals all year, and for this pick, because it's just a homer tradition, I'm going to go the Bengals. But real quick, I'm gonna give you the reasons why the Chiefs are going to cover this spread. First, the Bengals, like their track record against Patrick Mahomes without Joe Burrow, not very good. I don't even think we beat them once, and that was even with Andy Dalton. So you add that factor in. Plus, this Chiefs team just had one of the most embarrassing games they've had all year last week. So I think that they are going to be a pretty upset team. Yeah, they might. I hate to say this, but we might genuinely lose this game by like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But go Bengals.
I'm gonna ride the Chiefs here.
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
All right. Last game. Packers are at the Vikings for their Monday night matchup. I don't even know if the Packers have a chance anymore. I don't think they do, but they'll still be playing. I'm going to go Vikings here. I think Justin Jefferson single-handedly wins us this game no matter what it looks like. I mean, he had 3 plays last game where I just, like, wow. Like, best receiver in the league in my eyes, no bias. I think it looks like screens, all that. No Jordan Addison probably, no T.J. Hawkinson. The odds are stacked against us, but we're going to win this
We're
one.
talking like a 20-target game for Justin Jefferson here.
Yeah.
No.
Damn right.
Yeah, he needs
You're
that.
looking good.
He needs that.
With that being said, I kind of like this matchup though. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a good
I
Monday
think the
night.
Packers could play decent against this team, but I think, like you said, JJ is just a different type of level than any player on the field in this game. So I'm gonna take the Vikings.
The Panthers lost last week, right?
Yeah.
But they had a chance to win it.
Yeah.
I think we see something similar in this game. I'm not saying that the Vikings offense will start off hot, but this Packers team has just like they don't know how to get out of their own way. They play probably almost more competitive games this season than probably anybody else against teams that they arguably might be better than them. I've seen it in person. This Vikings team has a lot of fight in them, and them being at home, it's hard to fade that, especially this late into the season. Like, I don't know. It's safer to go with home teams when you get into the stretch of the season. So, give me the Vikings.
Also, Jair is not playing.
Suspended, yeah.
Suspended. So
What do you get suspended for?
Because he went out the coin toss last week.
Because he what?
Went out into the coin toss last week.
He wasn't a captain. Went out as a captain and picked the coin, heads or tails.
Yeah, so the team suspended him for a week because of
Nice.
that. When you're playing JJ.
Nice.
So, smart decision by them.
yeah, give me the Vikings.
And then they interviewed him real quick after the game, and he was like, "Man, the coaches don't care." He's like, man, I'm like him. And you see what happened.
He said that?
You see that interview?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta watch it, bro.
Dude, he said I'm him?
Well, I mean, no, but I was paraphrasing, but that's how he was acting.
Basically, okay.
With that weird ass accent he has, bro.
Yeah. He was acting all cocky, man. He's crazy. All right, man. Get another little episode. Keep with us on all socials and share this video, please. But it was real, y'all.
Peace.